Hey guys, welcome back to 3 Shades of Blue TV. I'm your host, Zach Thomas, and we are here talking about our position-by-position analysis for the upcoming Grizzlies season. We've got a group of panelists here from 3 Shades of Blue. We've got Anthony Sane, Cameron Simlar, Chip Crane, and Steve Zigger. Oh, I messed it up. Gosh, I'm always going to mess that up. Anyway, hey, fourth time's a charm, right? I'll get it right next time. So we're going to talk about the shooting guard position, and we see the shooting guard options on paper as Courtney Lee, Tony Allen, and Jordan Adams. So let's get right into it. As well, we know, just like the small forward position, these two positions have been most debated, talked about, questioned. Jaeger's gotten more questions about these two positions, the wing rotations, than anything else. So anyway, let's get into it. Cam, why don't you start us off? What do you think about the shooting guard position? Who do you think is going to be starting, and how do you see that playing out throughout the season?
Well, I think it's going to be the fan favorite, the grandfather, Tony Allen. Although I'm the believer of Tony Allen coming off the bench personally, because I like what he brought off the bench energy-wise with our old friend James Johnson, but he's gone now. But the energy he brought off the bench in the playoffs, especially, I like that, and it's always good to have someone who can spark the team if they're down. And then his shooting is everyone knows about his shooting. So if he started with Tayshaun Prince, all of us would have bad memories of the conference finals back when both of them couldn't shoot, and that's probably what we would get again. So, and the stats show that Courtney Lee and Tayshaun Prince together, on the floor together, ended up being good. So I say roll Courtney Lee in the starting lineup and have Tony come off the bench as the energy guy with Vince Carter.
All right, Shane, what do you think?
Man, y'all know who the best shooting guard in this team is right now. No, but I think Tony is going to start at shooting guard. I don't even want to just really get into Courtney Lee. I said this, I blogged about this. I don't think Courtney Lee will be here for the entire season. So I think it's a matter of Tony Allen starting now and Jordan Adams being the backup too. I don't even count Lee in that equation, really, to be honest with you.
So you just said that. So you said in a small forward position that you think Tayshaun Prince is going to be the person to start. Do you think that that's still going to happen? That you would start Tayshaun and Tony together?
I don't know. I don't know. Like going back to what we said about the small forward position. We honestly don't know what Jaeger's going to do, but I wouldn't be surprised if something happened. I wouldn't be surprised if they even made a deal even before the season started. To be honest with you, man. Because me personally, going back to Jaeger talking about who he wants to marry, I think you need to just. There's not many good wings on this team. I think our wings don't get the criticism they really deserve. When you see us match up against certain teams, our perimeter guys just don't stack up. That's why I'm so excited about a guy like Jordan Adams, who brings more pro-style skill set to the league. A lot of guys on our team, they're good, they're decent players, but they're not even worth really a lot of debate that we put into them about them. Because, like I said, all those guys aren't going to be there. You know, Jaeger's not going to play 11, 12 guys like people maybe hope he does. So I think he's going to trim. I think the roster is going to get trimmed down a lot. It's going to look a lot different as the season goes on. But,
what do you think about the possibility of having a Tayshaun Prince and Tony Allen start, or do you think Courtney Lee should get that spot? What do you think?
I don't want Tony Allen and Tayshaun starting. If they do start, we'll have to suffer with the group that won us 54 games 2 years ago and 50 games last year without Gasol for a large part. I mean, let's be honest. They do win. They're not pretty, but these guys know how to get the final job done.
Good point.
I want to see Courtney Lee start. I want him to come out and hit 40% from the arc like he's capable of doing, play quality defense like he's capable of doing, and being another playmaker from the backcourt. In the long run, I'm kind of agreeing with Sane. I don't think either Allen or Lee will be gone before the trade deadline. And I would not be at all surprised to see Jordan Adams finishing the year as a starter. I really wouldn't.
All right, Steve, what do you think about that?
I really hate the fact that we're all in agreement here, but I scribbled this down on the paper before we got to talking about this position, and that's kind of all I want to talk about here. I think that's backwards. But
It looks right. It looks right. It's good.
But, I mean, I was really high on Jordan Adams coming into the draft, and my thoughts on him are almost the opposite of what they are on John L. Stokes coming into the season. I think Stokes is the type of guy that needs time to develop against NBA players, and he won't quite be ready to do it. Adams is the type of guy that is ready from day one to play in this league. He draws fouls. He can shoot. He's got length to finish around the rim, even though he can't get up above the rim, per se. And I'm just really excited to see what he could do for this team. On the other hand, if we're talking about starters, I think Courtney Lee has to be the guy. If it's not just to pair him out there with Tayshaun so that we have something to start games with, moreover, I would say to showcase him. I mean, people know what he is at this point in time, but if he could get hot for a while like he did in the beginning of the beginning of when he came over to the Grizzlies in the trade, he was a great player for us. The thing with Courtney is he can't finish in traffic, and he can't get into the paint without there being traffic because we play two bigs all the time. So he's not really an ideal fit for the system, and he's not a lights-out shooter. He's really just good when he is shooting for us, and we need to catch him when he's riding that wave and find somebody to sell him to, preferably whoever he just lit up the game before. So really that's my take on the position. I think that Jordan Adams is the type of guy that can really come in and make a difference, and I hope to see it soon. I hope Jaeger sees it as well.
Yeah, so one thing we didn't touch on, though, with all of those positions is you got to think the shooting guard is going to take a lot of the, ball handling responsibilities alongside Mike Conley. I mean, that's another aspect of that shooting guard position is beyond just their offense and defense. Can they actually facilitate the offense when Mike Conley is covered up? Because let's face it, we saw it against Oklahoma City. Mike Conley will be covered up at times. There are other great defenders out there who are going to take the challenge to get there anyone else who will be able to handle the ball and to run the offense. Chip, what do you think about having two guys out there like a Nick Kalathis playing the two or Bano playing the two? What are your thoughts?
Well, it won't happen for the first 13 games, that's for sure. I mean, Nick's out, and he at 6'5" would be the ideal guy to move over at 2, unless teams are playing real small. If they go with, we've seen in the past with 2 small guards, like you'll see Phoenix doing a lot this year, it's going to be very difficult for our guys to handle that because our backup point guards aren't fast. They've got size, they've got good instincts on how to move the ball. I'm expecting a lot more from Kalathis this year than we saw last year. A second year in the league, he is playing in a contract year also, and I think he'll take the opportunity to get on the court. Unfortunately, it won't be till I think early December.
November 23rd, he'll come back against the LA Clippers. The first game he'll back.
Well, that's a great Thanksgiving gift for the team because I think him coming back going to open up a lot of opportunities for the Grizzlies, and hopefully he's worked on his three-point shooting and his free throws during the offseason. Was the weakest part of his game was shooting. Yep. But if we can get Kalathis hitting the ball and hit some shots, then that should make us a much deeper team again.
Yeah, so I mean, I think basically it's kind of up guard position right now. We know that's either going to be Tony Allen or Courtney Lee. I don't think Tayshaun Prince and Courtney Lee, or Tayshaun Prince and Tony Allen are the best tandem. But as you said, Chip, and you pointed out earlier, they win games. They've won games in the past. If that were to happen, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I still think we could win games in this league. Now, the issue is the West has gotten much better since we went to the Western Conference Finals. I think the talent amongst other teams at the 2 guard, at the 3 position, at the 3, they're elevated. There are other great small forwards out there, So for us to raise our game and to play the same guys and expect the same result, I don't think that's what we need to look forward to. I would say as of right now, I mean, golly, Courtney Lee's he's just going to have to do it. He's going to have to find a way to be productive. I know that's the preseason, and maybe he's just working out kinks. Maybe he's just kind of not there and not back in the game shape or game form. But I'm hoping that I think Courtney Lee is going to be the starter. I think he's the one that Jaeger will trust. And I know that's going to be interesting because Tony Allen is Jaeger's also said that Tony Allen plays best when he starts. He said that in a few weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with those guys. But anyway, that's it. That's what we feel about the shooting guard position, the 2 spot here at the 3 Shades of Blue TV. Thank you guys for joining us, and we look forward to you joining us again for our point guard analysis.